Okay, so this is the AutoCAD challenge, and I'm going to try and make this easier for you. I'm going to break it up into a few different videos because this is obviously a lot. There's a lot going on here. So first thing you're going to need to do is download this, the ALC template EGT 1040 final drawing. Download. Okay, there's that. I'm going to open it in AutoCAD. And it's going to ask you this, like open external features, all that good stuff. Just say yes. And what this is this is where we're going to be drawing our part. And then over here, these are just some resources we'll use later on. You can kind of ignore that for now. And this is where it's going to populate. So this is kind of like our construction site, and then this is where it gets rendered for us. So these are two different tabs. They're linked together. So as an example, I'm actually going to be drawing this part, which is really similar to the one that's in, oh, not there. Not there either. That's right here. So it's really similar to this part. I tweaked it a little bit so that it will, you'll still be able to follow along. You'll just have to pay close attention to the different values that it has. Again, it's almost the exact same thing, but I want you to be able to take the instructions and translate them into a different shape. So back here in AutoCAD, we'll go to the Model tab, and in here, kind of our first step is to make just the overall outline. I'm going to focus on just the front view, which is this one right here, and I'm just going to make this general shape first. And I can do that by using these sketch tools. These will feel pretty familiar to what we've used in the past, and I'm going to kind of draw it willy-nilly, or just kind of like make it look like it's sort of close. And I can kind of make things pretty similar as I'm going along. So I'm going to start with these circles. Looks like the first one, and this again applies to the other shape that's very similar but not quite the same. I'll draw another one in the same place. Notice that I can click on the same center point like this, a little bit larger. I can type in a specific value as well, kind of like that. And then I'm going to, the wrong one. I'm going to draw these lines right here. I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to ignore the fillet that's in there for now. So I've got that. Then I'm going to go back to Arc Tool. Now Arc Tool is a little different than what we've been using in the past. This one you'll click, and notice that says specify your starting point. And it's going to say, oh, and notice how this is trying to go straight up and down. That means my ortho, or my like 90-degree default is locked in, and I can turn that off right here. So if I turn that off, then I can go kind of wherever I want. And it's going to say specified second point of arc. We'll go about right there. I'm just kind of making this, again, like willy-nilly. I'm not being very careful yet. And another one. That. And then the final one is a line that's going to go from here to this there. Then I can right-click and say enter, or hit the enter button to cancel out of it. So I've got that shape. Does not look super good. It's approximate, but not quite right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some geometric constraints. I'm going to go over here to where it says parameter, or parametric, and I'm going to make some relationships so that all of this works together. So first, I'm going to use this one. This is called concentric. Click on that one, and I go boom, boom. Those are going to hold together. So now if I move one of those, they'll stay together. So if I were to click on this one and move it, you can see that it will stay connected. All right, and then I'm going to do tangent. So anywhere, oh, actually, even before that, this is an important one. This is called coincident. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to make sure that all of my points here are connected. When we use other systems like Inventor, it will automatically lock those together. And here, it looks like it does, but it doesn't. We have to go through and say, hey, I want this endpoint for this line to always be connected to the endpoint of this line. And when that works, it'll put this little blue dot there that says, hey, these ones are linked, and I can do the same thing to this next one. So I can either go back up here and use that tool again and go boom, boom, like that. Or if I right click, I can say repeat, and you'll see this thing, it looks like a big kind of jargon right here. It says GC coincident, that's geometric constraint coincident. So I'll click there, and I can go boom and boom. Now those ones are tangent, or not tangent, sorry, they're connected. I'll go right click again, repeat, boom, boom, looks good. Right click, continue, boom, boom, right click, continue. Actually, I don't know if it works. If I try to do this one on the circle, I don't think it will actually work. So I click here. Yeah, it'll go to the center point, which we don't want. So I'm going to hit undo. Okay. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to go through and make all of these lines tangent. So I'm going to go tangent tool, click here and here. Nice. Right click, repeat geometric constraint tangent. Here to here. Right click again. Here to here. Right click. Boom, boom. And then right click, repeat. I'm going to go here and here. So that did move things around a little bit, but that'll be okay for now. We're going to make it work all right. Okay. And now this one, let's connect this, actually make it a little bit easier down the road. I'm going to click here, say, hey, I want this to be connected to that point. I'll hit escape. But it's not fully connected yet, so I'm going to go coincident, click here, and then here, and now those are going to be locked in. So if I move this around at all, it'll stay locked in. Oh. So those kind of stay together. That's a good thing. All right, and now I'm going to use my vertical and horizontal constraints. So right here we've got vertical. I want this line to be vertical. And then horizontal. I'm going to click here. That horizontal. Awesome. And those look pretty good. So our next step is going to be adding some, and I know that this is not on there quite yet. I'll fix that in a minute. But we're going to go through and add some dimensions. So it's really weird in AutoCAD. You have annotate where you can put dimensions, or you can use what's called, well, in the parametric where we were before, this one is, these are dimensions as well. In the annotate tab, these ones are just labels. They don't actually change the geometry. In parametric, they do. So let's start first, and again, this is, I'm using this one. In your assignment, you'll be drawing this guy, which is a little different. Very similar, but it's a little different. So pay attention to the numbers here. The numbers that I'm going to be saying out loud won't really match with this. They'll be close, but they are different. So just fair warning there. So back to this tab, I'm going to go and let's make the circles. So I've got 2.25, and this one's 3.5. So I'm going to go, oh, not linear, but diameter right here. I'm going to type in 2.5, enter. And this one was 3.5, 5, enter. Good. And then let's do my arcs. So the arcs are found here, or sorry, linear. And I'm going to go ahead, not linear, sorry, I've already messed that up, but I want the arcs, and I've got 1.75, 1, and 1.5. So I'm going to go to arc right here. This is 1.75. This one was 1. Oh, I got to do that again. Click here. This one's going to be 1, so it's tiny. And then this one, oh, forgot it again, is 1.5. Awesome. Okay. So this does still look a little weird. I'm going to kind of drag this center point here. up a little bit just to help make this start to look a little bit more like the drawing. Okay, and great. So I've got that, and now I'm going to get some dimensions to make these all relate to each other. Now this is where it gets a little weird. I'm going to use some linear dimensions, but I have to go to these center points or whatever to make this work. So from here to here, this one's 5. So I'm going to go linear. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Linear. And I'm going to hold down my control key and right click. That's going to feel really weird, but I'm going to control and right click. And it's going to give me this whole slew of things I can pick from. And I want to click the center. So I'm going to say center. And now if I click on here, it will use my first reference point as that center. That's going to say specify the second constraint point. And I want this one up here, and it won't let me select anywhere here, but it also doesn't let me select the center point. So I got to control, right click, center. I'll click here again, and then this will allow me to put this dimension either this way, or if I pull it over here, it will change that way. And I think we'll end up doing both. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to say 5, enter, and that's made it a lot smaller, which is good. And let's see what the next one is. It's we'll do this one. So from here to here, using the same geometry, but it'll go up 1 inch. So I go linear, and click here. Oh, sorry, messed that up already. Linear, control, right click, center point, and control, right click, center, and I'll click this one again. Instead of going up, I'm going to go to the right. I guess I go to the left too. Either way, it's fine on this one. And type in 1. Beauty. So I've got that one. I'm going to focus on this one down here. And that one looks like it goes 3.5 and 1.5. So I'll do the horizontal one first. Linear, control, right click, center point. And click right here. Control, right click, center point, and then this one. And oh dear, I already forgot. It was, I think it's 3.5. 3.5, enter. Let me double check. Yeah. And then from here to here, so we'll do the same thing. Control, right click, O center, click there, control, right click, O center, right here, and this time I'm going to go out this way. I believe this one was 1.5. So it was, okay. Looks good. So I've got most of this stuff all put together. There's a few things I'm still missing, like the hexagon, but I'm going to do that. That'll be one of my last moves. And this line here that's hanging out a little too far, there's a few things I can do to fix this. So first, I can either click on this point and then bring it back and then wait till it snaps like this where it says it's tangent. Or if I bring it way over here, I can purposely use what's called the extend tool. So extend, if you type in EX, it'll automatically start searching for that tool, and you can just go extend and just click here, and it will extend that line until it intersects there. The other way is to use the trim tool. So I'm going to hit Control Z or undo that a couple of times. And if I go type in TR, wrong one, TR, it'll have trim come up. And if I click and drag, make this line of death, and I can go over this, and it will give it a little haircut. Looks good. Cool. So I've got most of this stuff ready to go. It's looking really good. So I'm going to get my fillet, which is down here in the corner. And that one I'm going to use, if I go to the Home tool, and I click Fillet here, and I click, actually before I click anywhere, notice how it says Select First Object, or it has that down drop option. If I click the down arrow, it's going to say, all right, do you want to use Undo, Polyline, Radius, Trim, Multiple? And I'm going to say Radius. And then I'm going to type in the amount I want. I think 0.25 is correct already. I'm just going to click here. Oh, I got rid of it. Oops. And down drop. Go down to radius, enter. 0.25, I click enter, and then I click the line. So I'm going to say I want this line, this line. Didn't like that. I don't know why. Let's try that again. I think it might be this. Some of the way I'm going to move that. Yeah, let's try that again. So down drop, radius, enter, 0.25, enter. Yeah, that was the issue. Here and here. That's what I want to see. Beautiful. So that's great. I've got that in there. But notice this did not keep it tangent. It didn't automatically remember those, nor did it remember to keep those points together. It's undefined. So I'm going to go back to parametric. I'm going to make sure that these points, I'm going to zoom in so you can see this better. So that this point on this half and this point on that half are aligned. And then same thing with this one and that one. And then I'll do tangent. Boom, boom, right click, repeat, boom, boom, escape. Now, if I move that around, those are going to hold together. Okay. So from here to here, this line right here and that line actually need to go as well. So if I go back to home and say trim, I can trim that line there. I can trim this a little bit right here. And that will leave the line there, which is good. Okay. So this does look really hairy and gross, and there is a way to fix that. And I think I'm going to do that right now because it is getting a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff going on. So if I go to parametric, I can show all dimensions or hide all. So we hit that, get rid of them all, and I'm just left with the geometry. I can also get rid of all of these, the geometric constraints. If I go over here and say hide all, they'll go away. And I can always bring them back doing show all. So they're not gone, they're just hidden. And cool. So the last little bit I'm going to use is the hexagon. So I'm going to go home, hit the down drop here, go to polygon tool. It's going to say how many sides do I want? I want 6. And I'm going to hit enter. And then it's going to say specify your center point. And if I kind of hover over this, this is the center point. It's the same as the arc here. I'm going to click. It's going to say enter an option, an inscribed circle or a circumscribed. So this is an important definition. It basically says if we're measuring this, if we're measuring to the corner, like this one, or this edge, or to the side. Basically, if I had a line straight up here, it would be a little shorter than a line going that way. So we could thank Pythagoras for that. So for this one, I'm going to use what's called a circumscribed. So I'm going to go back here. Oh, I already lost it. So 6 sides, and it's going to ask the center point right here. And I'm going to use the circumscribed because it's going to the outer corner. So click that one. And then it's going to ask how large do I want this to be. And in the example, it's 1.5 across, but this is by a radius. So I need to type in 0.75, so only half. And that's about what it should look like. If I want to be extra sure, I can go in and measure that, but it should be just fine. So this is the bare bones for our front view. I'm going to move it down a little bit. This is a very helpful tool to use as well. Move tool. And it's going to say select objects, and I can go through and click every individual piece, or I can click once and highlight everything by going from the top right to the bottom left, and then hitting enter. And then it's going to ask what point do I want to use a reference. I can click really any point on here, and then it should follow my cursor wherever I go. I'm going to put it down just a little bit right there. And then that is it for our first view. So I'll pause it here because this is a good time to take a quick break.